Hello, my name is Jodi Low, and this is the Leadership Lowdown, powered by the BBB and You and Improved. The Leadership Lowdown cuts through the clutter and gets to the heart of what makes businesses tick. We want to share the stories that matter to you, all of the successes and triumphs and all of the pitfalls, and everything that happens in between. So with that, let's get on to today's show. Welcome to the Leadership Lowdown. I am here today with Aaron Velky, who is CEO and head coach. Did I get that right?
Nailed it.
Get out of your own way. Is that right, too?
That is awesome.
Awesome. Well, we actually don't know each other, and I'm so excited to have this conversation because anytime I get to chat with anyone who is in the building people, mindset, change, shifting, transformation work, that's like my favorite sweet spot. So we get to dance in the same place. Let's nerd out about it. I love it. Hopefully our listeners and viewers will be like, yeah, let's geek out on leadership development and training. So tell us about yourself. I know off camera, you told me a little bit that you are coming up on your 3-year anniversary in Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Moved here in 2022. So this is a cool transition for me. I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah.
My world of leadership really started with kids.
Okay.
So I was a youth soccer coach professionally for about 12 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I primarily coached girls. I coached kind of mixed group in the beginning, but once I started coaching girls, I never went back.
Interesting.
I refused to coach boys.
Yeah.
And
so what was that? Why?
Well, the girls were much more cerebral.
Okay.
The boys would run through a wall.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, you're like,
sir.
Whatever you say, boom, right.
But the questions I got from the girls, and I think the way that teams were built were dramatically different.
Okay.
The boys fought for themselves. The girls needed safety in the community and the team.
Okay.
I think there was a deeper need for me to be a leader with the girls, right? They needed to know that I cared for them, that I trusted them and their ability, and that they could trust me and my word and the commitments that I made.
Yeah.
So wildly different experiences. Probably the girls were more suited to my leadership style anyway, because I wanted to build a team of culture and to really create this bond between them.
Yeah.
But that journey, here's what I like to say about coaching kids.
Yeah.
There's no difference between coaching kids and adults, except kids will be honest with you.
Yeah.
They'll just tell you.
You just hit the nail on the head because that is so true. Yeah. Yeah. You ask your kids or any kids, hey, what am I doing well or wrong? And they will tell you.
There's no filter. Like,
no, totally.
They're direct, and their ability to communicate, their language might be a little bit insufficient for what they're trying to communicate. So you got to be there with them to help them figure out maybe their feelings or what they're trying to say. But they will not hide how they're feeling.
That's so true.
An adult and a leader, in particular a CEO, will certainly hide how they're feeling, right?
Absolutely.
There's this posterity that they have to have and a posturing of what they're supposed to do and say and have and look like and lead like.
Yep.
But kids, they're straight to the point.
Yeah, filterless. I love it. So that was all back in Baltimore that you did that work?
All back in Baltimore.
Okay. And then what brought you out to Arizona?
Well, I had retired from coaching soccer in about 2020. A lot of change in my life. I had published a book. I was rebuilding, trying to figure things out. I was about to become a dad.
Nice.
Business was changing. I think I had outgrown Baltimore. It was, in many ways, it was a collapse of me. And I think if I really look back at my problem, I was in my own way. And that's a lot of our medicine now is like, hey, can you recognize that you're the problem? And I was 100% the problem.
Interesting. Okay.
So I had all these blocks, and I think really doing some deep work and assessing, I had to recognize that change was necessary. I didn't know what that change needed to be.
Yeah.
But I got it in every way.
Yeah.
Moving to Phoenix, I joke about this, but moving to Phoenix was the burning of my entire life.
Wow.
I reset, everything started over.
Interesting.
And I had to rise out of those ashes, which is metaphorically appropriate.
Metaphorically perfect for Phoenix,
boom.
yes.
But in that, at the moment, I certainly would not have chosen it. I don't think I would have, and I don't think any of us would choose to go into the fire and say, hey, like, I guess I need a complete reset. Yeah. But it was chosen for me.
So when you say that, and I don't want to push something that you don't want to discuss or, where you are. But when you say that, what was the catalyst to that? So to kind of paraphrase your words, to come to a point where you're like, I need to start at ground zero, burn this stuff down,
Burn it all down.
and rebuild. What was the knowing? What was the moment? What was the reason? Like what got you there?
Knowing I was going to be a dad certainly plays a big role in
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? Because you know stuff's going to change.
Sure.
You may not, and I had been around kids enough to
Yeah.
also see parenting from a very unique perspective.
Yeah,
I
sure.
worked with thousands of young adults.
Yeah.
But knowing that I was approaching a fire was not real for me. I avoided it for a long time. And I think leaders do, right? We all are like, it's not that bad. It's
Yeah.
not that bad. It's
Yeah.
not that bad. And eventually I just had to come to a place of recognizing that the choices that I had in front of me might yield complete collapse. What that feels like is very different than what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because what it sounds like is this courageous moment
Yeah.
where you're like, I got it, I'm going to do
Yeah,
it.
we've got this.
That's not
Yeah.
how it feels. It largely is this pressure where the things in your life or your business or both start to collapse around you, and it forces you to really look at noting change. You're seeing it,
Yep.
and feeling like the only way to change is to fight, but the fight is being removed from you. It almost felt like everything that I was trying to hold together was falling apart. And I was trying to pull these pieces back in, but it was like holding on to sand.
Yeah.
And everything's going wrong. It feels like everything's on fire. It feels like the people in my life have to change,
Yeah.
not because of choice, but because of something I've done or
Yep, yep.
circumstances. So friendships are fading, business is fading, partnerships were eroding. I'm not clear on who I am. I've lost touch with who I want to become. Like it really isn't fun.
Yeah.
And on the outside, especially looking back, you can say, hey, look, these puzzle pieces came back together.
Yeah.
But in it, it almost feels like everything is being ripped from your hands. Everything
Right.
that you've worked years for and almost a decade. I'll be celebrating my move here 3 years ago happened around the same time that I also quit my job. So that was 7 years from quitting my job. So this year will be 10 years since becoming an entrepreneur. And a lot of time in that is a complete reset, a complete ground zero.
Yeah.
I'd say what's different after many years of doing this and especially what moving here entailed,
Yeah.
I'm no longer afraid of it.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That's so cool. So when you went through that, was there a mentor? Was there someone like how did you? Because we talk about a reset, and people can get to a point, oftentimes on their own, where they're like, I know I need to do something, but how do I do that? So was there someone or something that was that catalyst to help you make that move or help you see what you needed to do next?
A lot of someones, certainly a lot of people. I
Okay.
leaned on a lot of people,
Yeah.
family, friends, mentors.
Yeah.
I think mentorship has a lot of roles in my world, and we try to provide that in our business arena as well. But mentors can often be what not to do and what to do
Yeah.
when you reach out for help
Yeah.
and are going through those things. I had business associates that they had a different role in my life at that point that are still a part of my businesses today
Yeah.
that were big in that. My number 2 in business today was a big part of that,
Okay.
who just helped me hold it all together.
Yeah.
And maybe not even hold it together, but hold me together. Like how do you navigate when everything is falling away?
Yeah.
How do you just keep to you and,
Yeah.
and learn you again?
Yeah.
I had my brother has been a big anchor in my life, so I've always leaned on him. He's younger and he's been a big staple in that. But beyond all that, I'd say if there was an anchor point, it was always health and fitness.
Oh,
I've been
interesting.
an
Okay,
athlete
yeah.
in college and coaching girls, and
Yeah.
I've kind of always been on soccer fields, and movement has been a big part of how I stay anchored.
Yes.
So that has been my home. Is if I know nothing, then I know that I can go for a run and be okay.
Yep.
Right, I can get on a bike and be okay.
Yep.
So that was probably my biggest centerpiece in watching everything fold away.
Right. That's interesting. You know, and it's interesting. I was just on a podcast and I was being asked something kind of similar to that. And they said, what are some of those constants and those things? And for me, just like you, if I don't have that movement, like that's my time to, it's not even that I'm even consciously thinking, but it's like
Yeah, you're
clear
out.
your head or ideas come, but it's like just a space and place where you can go, move, do, and things just evolve. So I
Yeah.
love that was pivotal for you too. So then you came out to Arizona, and then tell us, you know, because obviously now an entrepreneur, so you went through all of this major life change, really like a rebuilding. Is that what was the kind of the turning point or the tipping point to, hey, I want to do this kind of work for others? Or were you already in that space prior? Or how did that timeline work?
So I had a coaching company prior.
Okay.
It collapsed in the move out.
Okay.
For things that really are just difficult.
Yeah.
I think circumstantially, I had a business partner. It didn't work out between us, and so that faded. But the basis of that was the same. Coaching soccer certainly bled into that. So, you know, my whole world was there. I had a financial education company, and the business that we were in really changed during COVID. We were working with education companies and systems, school systems, across the country, U.S. and Mexico and Canada, and that changed during COVID. So we had pivoted to working with companies to provide corporate wellness through the lens of financial education.
Oh, okay.
So we were doing like a version of leadership training, though
Sure.
it was largely around money and helping employees that may never have learned about money understand some basic concepts.
Yeah, like the financial literacy pieces of the basics. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
I had been doing coaching for entrepreneurs. I had been facilitating workshops and seminars through the lens of money. And the birth of Get Out of Your Own Way was really just like, what's left?
Yeah.
Right? What skills are left? If I stripped everything, and I think this is a really important concept that we work with today. Most of us are really comfortable saying, I want more of what I have. But largely, if we're unhappy, that's just a perpetuation of a problem. If we strip everything and say, hey, blank canvas, what would you build? Then you really get into the core of you. And I think I got there.
Yeah.
I also had to reestablish, like, what are my skills? Because a lot of times we attach a skill to a medium versus zooming out and saying, hey, like, what's the basis of this?
Yeah.
If I'm good at teaching money, is it money that's the skill, or is it teaching?
Yeah.
And once you start to really look at those squares that you turn over differently, I think you have a radically different future.
Right. Well, and I love the fact of like stripping it away to then rebuild or recreate, because I believe you're totally right. It's so oftentimes, hey, this is what I've always done. This is what I know. So I've got to take that and build upon it, as opposed to, wait a minute, what is it really? That's at the core, the foundation of A, what I love, B, where my gifts and talents and treasures are, so I love that. So now today, do you do work, is it just in Phoenix or all across the country, or what does that look like?
We've got clients all across the U.S. I can think of all four corners being covered really quickly.
And is it just you or a team? Or
we've got a team, team of about 8. So it's a robust team. I like to find people that are really good at one specific thing and then bring them into the team so they're not splitting roles. And I've built enough businesses now to know how not to do it.
You're like, I've learned that. I could talk about and teach.
Find your ninjas and stick with them.
Yeah.
We've got a great team. Our business model is essentially a cascade down from the leader. We always start with the leader. Then it can go down into working with the number 2 in the C-suite. And then it goes down into working with team and team building and some of those leadership and executive functional exercises. But it all starts at the top. So we will not come into a company and work at the bottom until we've worked at the top. I have been the problem in so many ways from top down. And so we've made it a principle of how we work. But we're across the country. There's a lot of clients that we have here in Arizona that have come from the last 3 years of really getting entrenched in what's happening, trying to find the problems of what might exist here. And also seeing coming from the East Coast, looking at Arizona, it's a huge state. Like, I can travel the same distance and be in 3 or 4 states on the East Coast.
Right.
And still be in Arizona here. Right.
You're like, I still haven't gotten to Tucson. Right.
It's a much bigger city.
Yeah.
Much more spread out and sprawling. So I'm still learning some of the dynamics of what's happening here, whether it's politically or economically. But we're finding really good leaders here that want to have a bigger impact than just success in business and their team. And that's what we look for.
I love that. And so is the work you do more one-on-one and coaching type of work, or do you have classes, or how does that look?
At the top, it's all coaching. And I think the responsibility of a coach is very defined. You cannot sit with me and not move. So if someone's going to hire us, it's because they're not moving in some way, shape, or form. They're not growing. They're stuck. They're unclear. They're uncertain. Whatever that is, with us, you can't not move. That's our responsibility. At the bottom, we do classes and we do trainings and we do team buildings. We've taken teams to raceways here, and there's a great spot called Bam Kazam up in Talking Stick that's like adult arcades. So we use all kinds of different mediums at the bottom to educate and inform, but at the very top, it's all coaching.
Got it.
And really there, the idea that is supplanted in everything that we do is that the leader creates the ceiling, and if there's a ceiling, it's the leader.
Yep.
It's a very simple principle.
Yep.
But if a business owner wants to create change and they're stuck, then the first and primary change has to happen with them.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to like shuffle that onto the team, right? Team's not
Right.
versus them.
Well, and you bring up such a good point, because in my years of doing, work in the same wheelhouse, I'm the same way. It's like if pace the leader, pace of the pack, right? If the leader isn't willing to say, hey, let me hold up the mirror and see what it is that I need to do more of or change or do differently, how can I ask other people to do something I'm not willing to do first, or to be self-reflective and self-aware enough to say, hey, you know what? It starts with me. So I love that.
Awareness is magical, but it's hard to find.
It totally. And 100% hard to find. And when you find those like-minded people that say, hey, you know what? I get this and I want to, become more so I'm better for all those areas of my life, personally, professionally, my team, that's where the magic happens. So that's awesome. So what's next for the company?
We actually launched a new program tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
It's an 8-week accelerator for CEOs that are, I would say, reticent to commit to like a year-long program or a 6-month program, that want to move fast but are also stuck. I think all of our work comes from this idea of what vision is. So it's our Living Vision Accelerator, and the way I hear vision talked about, it is the bane of my existence. Like I get really energized about this. So for most people, if they look at a wall and they put their vision up there, it's all ego, right? It's their car, it's the house, it's the dream boat, it's like the vacations they get to take, the private plane flights. Like it's almost 100% about me. And when we work with leaders and say, hey, what's your vision? Most of them are depicting a very selfish outcome, not the process. If they communicate to the team, which most people do, and I'm a big fan of communicate to your team about a lot, but if you communicate to the team what you want your revenue goal to be, the only thing the team hears is how do I, as the leader, or how do they get rich? So we have to come in with leaders and really help them build a vision that is largely not about them, that incorporates the team, their health, all these different holistic measures, and gets the team to where they want to go. Because if your team gets where you want to go, you will have whatever you want. It
100%.
doesn't matter what your goals are, you will have them.
Yeah.
But that's a big reorientation, and this accelerator that we're launching tomorrow is largely like a fast track of what we do in 6 months or a year with a person in a drinking from the fire hose kind of 8 weeks.
Yeah. But great for that person that wants it fast and furious. And And is that an online program, or is that
virtual?
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got people from Kentucky and Tennessee and Detroit, San Diego, like all over.
Nice.
Which is also cool because we get to pull them into one virtual ecosystem.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Now, is most of the work that you do virtual then, or in person, or kind of a mix of both? Or
we do a mix of both. What I like virtual, and I think CEOs like virtual. It frees you up to do it from wherever you are, and I think that's important. I also think there's some value in being face to face. You can't run. You can't hide. So part of our program, the 6-month program, we have them fly out, and they're stuck with me, I'll say, for a full 12 hours. So we start at 9 a.m. and do a workout, cold plunge, the whole deal. And then for about 9 hours after that, we are really digging into vision, roadblocks, mentalities, structures, org charts, leadership methods, you name it, we're digging in. And the goal of, I think, being in person when you are in an extended format like that is I'm just going to break your armor. Like I'm going to figure out what you're really about and then help you rebuild, but I got to tear down your armor first. And there's something really special about that.
And where did you gain your background or knowledge or coaching ability? Where did that come from?
Coaching 15-year-old girls on a soccer field.
So it came from doing.
I don't know that I have any certifications that are in this field. What it's been is thousands and thousands of hours. I think I had to clock it recently because I was building an AI out. Probably 6,000 or 7,000 with like CEOs, and then another 10 or 12 with young adults. But what's interesting is that the psychology of change is baselined. I think we all know it. We all understand it. And not having any certifications has actually been a really big blessing because I'm not locked into any format. So I get to be a bit more amorphous, and our team gets to be a bit more amorphous. So we've built our methodology out without context to what does that person sell and what does that person sell. So I'm big on like coaching, but I also have my hesitations about like certifications. That are,
I mean, lots of times you're kind of locked into a person's, like you said, methodology or way of doing things, which can be, if that's the product you're promoting. You're kind of just in this very linear way of delivering content where it's not really naturally and pure to what that person may really need or want, or what that organization needs or wants. I love that you kind of customize that way.
Yeah, I would imagine you've learned this too.
Yeah.
Like if a method doesn't work as a leader for that or a coach to that, you've got to change.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? If someone's like shut down, they're a kinetic learner. Like, don't try to give them more to read.
Yeah,
just doesn't
it's not going to work. Yeah. Well, I wanted to. We have a series of fun questions that I think I love it. I love it that he's clapping. So fun questions. They originated from a French talk show back many decades ago, and I just think they're fun, and I think it's gives people insight into you as a person, which I think is really important, no matter the industry, to understand. So my first question for you is, Aaron, what is your favorite word?
That's a great one. It'd be easy to say vision.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm kind of guessing he's going to go with vision, but...
but I'll pick a different one. My favorite word, I'll say spontaneous.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And it's not one that I am using, but it's one that I'm living.
Oh, okay.
I think in coaching, the skill that I've had to adapt is being incredibly spontaneous from the lens of like, what do you need?
Yes.
Morph.
Yes.
What is going to serve you here in this moment? And having a almost 3-year-old, always spontaneous.
100%. You're like I am embodying spontaneity, right?
He's just spontaneity in a little
package. Right.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, that's perfect. That's perfect for all areas of your life, right? What would you say on the flip side of that is your least favorite word?
How.
Interesting. Okay.
Everyone gets stuck in how.
Yeah.
Leaders get stuck in how.
Yeah.
Owners get stuck in how. I think when you build vision, you get stuck in how. And if you open any creative box with how, you've essentially closed the lid on that box. Creativity thrives without the distinct line to the method, without the resource management, with any of that.
I love that. It's beautiful because that is so true. How many people are stopped from ever starting because they're so wildly wrapped up in the how, and great ideas, great ventures, great everything can die. Yeah, absolutely. So for you, what turns you on, whether it's creatively, spiritually, emotionally, like what just lights you up?
I enjoy more than I even realize I should, watching someone change, watching myself change. There's like this moment where you click into a new mentality and you try something new that works.
Yeah.
That I think is if anybody's a parent listening, you can see it in your kid where they try something new and they light up.
Yeah.
But I like that moment most with adults, and I like that moment with leaders. I like it with my mirror and context. I have been stuck behind who I was many times in my life, where I believed a certain thing and I just couldn't break that.
Couldn't see past that, yeah.
And there's a moment where if you try something new and it works the way you planned it, or it shows you something you didn't know you could have or become or do, that moment is where you get like the truth bumps.
100%.
And that moment is what I seek and chase and live for. It's what I coach for, where someone can come in and say, hey, I didn't know that I could do this and it's done. Or I remember being on stage the first time and lighting up. Or I thought that this was for everybody else and now it's for me.
Right.
It's that moment.
Yeah.
I chase that.
I am 100% in alignment with that. That is, to me, the same thing when you have and witness and see someone just step into that and there's a click. There is a click, a shift, a light bulb moment, and it's like, oh, they are forever different. And the biggest gift in the work that we get to do is we get to watch it and we grow from it. And I don't know about you, but I always feel forever changed by watching someone else's journey.
Beautiful.
It's just it's a gift. Yeah, that's fantastic. So what turns you off?
Probably back to how.
Yeah.
Well, I'll use a different example. I think a challenge for me is any lack of awareness, or maybe it's a lack of the willingness to work on awareness.
Yeah.
I'll be in an airport and I'm walking down behind somebody and they'll like dead stop.
Yeah.
Right. They'll just immediately stop walking to do whatever, like text or eat a munchkin. I don't know. But I will almost run into them.
Yeah.
And that it's a moment like that that becomes very difficult to navigate, right? Do you react? Do you get angry?
Yeah.
Do you mention to them that they just stopped in the middle of and we all do this.
Yeah.
We get angry on the road, we get angry in the airport. But in the work that I'm doing in particular, that moment of like, hey, were you not aware of this, is a confrontable moment. And if someone doesn't want to work on their awareness, I can't do my job.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably become a professional turnoff.
Yeah.
I think it's also a personal turnoff, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have any awareness, if I can't bring a conflict to you, if there's no emotional intelligence, my son's first two initials are EQ for a reason. Like emotional intelligence and having the ability to say like, hey, maybe I could do that different, or hey, I didn't realize it rubbed you that way, or how can I become more aware of your perception and your perspective?
Yeah.
Then I'm probably out.
Makes perfect sense. Now I need to know, what's your son's name?
Emerson Quest Velky.
Oh, Emerson Quest.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. I was thinking maybe Quinn or.
Yeah, like, I want to read his book.
I know, right? 100%. I'm like, that's a dang good name. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. That's perfect. So what sound or noise do you love?
These are great. This is a strange sound, but this comes back to my soccer roots. One of my favorite sounds is the sound of good contact on a soccer ball.
Nice.
You could like close my eyes, blindfold me, and play that sound like 40 yards away,
Yeah.
and I would know exactly what's going on.
I love
There's
it.
a soccer ball, and someone has just made a good contact with it.
Yeah.
It's the simplest sound, but I started playing soccer when I was like 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I
So
still
this
play
is-
today, and I still play competitive. And
That's awesome.
so that place is home for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That always brings me back to ground.
I love that. I love that. That's just a moment. It just it takes you on a whole journey just in one simple sound. I love that. Is there a sound or noise that you hate?
This is a funny answer. The sunship bag.
The sunship.
For some
bag.
reason, sunships make the loudest, most aggressive, crinkly sound. I don't know what it is about that bag or how they've made them, but that sound.
Sunship. Are you listening?
Yeah.
You need to recalibrate, reorchestrate your bags. This is not a good thing. Interesting. Okay, so now I have to go buy some,
you're
and
good. Yeah.
I've got to. So it's a different bag than like a
I don't
Lay's
know, it's
potato
just-
chip,
it's
or
very loud. It's just a very loud, like
that is so
distinct
funny.
noise.
I love it. I love that answer. That's fabulous. Okay, now I'm so intrigued. I've got to learn more. So for you, Aaron, what profession outside of your own, or something that you've already done, would you love to attempt? Like, what just sounds really cool? Skill set aside.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut, a fighter pilot. Like those things would be amazing. Be
Yeah.
a Blue Angels fighter pilot.
Yeah.
I think now the thing that inspires me a lot would be doing art.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I did art professionally for about 2 years, and I really loved that pursuit. And
Very cool.
I think getting back to that is inevitable for me.
Yeah.
Right. I think about the mountains that we climb.
Yeah.
And the mountain I'm on now, I'm really happy with, and I'm really proud of. And I can imagine kind of like a Jim Carrey story of
Yeah.
the second mountain being art and
That's really
connecting people through art.
cool. Is there a certain like medium or type of art?
I did abstract on acrylic canvas.
Okay.
And had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
I got hired by a couple people to do commission work and figured it out on the fly. But that I was drawing when I was in church with my mom at 6. Like she would be like, "Hey,
Yeah. Pay attention.
there's somebody talking," and I'd be drawing, X-Men characters in my pew,
That
like
is
whatever
so
the literature is
funny.
called.
Yeah.
So I think getting back to that would probably be a career aspiration of mine.
That's awesome. Is there a profession that you're like, never? Sounds dreadful to me.
As much as I love cooking, I'd never be a chef.
Yeah.
We've got a couple clients that are in the restaurant space.
Yeah.
And owning a restaurant, owning a bar always sounds cool, but like, nope, I'm tapping
Yeah,
that one
it's
out.
one of those in theories. You're like, ooh, that'd be so much fun. And
Yep.
then anyone or everyone, I mean, God bless y'all that do the work, but wow.
Wow.
It is a grind.
It's
I
a
give
lot.
them a huge kudos because it is
It's
not
so
easy
much.
work. It is
and
not easy
the
work.
lifestyle that comes with it
Yeah.
is just different than the discipline I want to live into.
Yeah.
I love being a part of it from the outside,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's like great enjoyment I get out of supporting a restaurant
Yeah.
and helping the team grow. And,
Yeah.
restaurants can attract really charactered people, which I love, right? A lot of creativity, a lot of personality. But I like being adjacent.
Yeah,
Not in
yeah.
it.
Like, I don't need to be in that work. I get it. I get it. Well, to wrap us up on the question part, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear he or she say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Wow, that's a great question too. I think a really meaningful one it almost makes me emotional to think about would be, I see that you took who you are and you painted, that you painted the world.
I love that. I love that.
There's just so much art in coaching. I think there's art in leadership. I think there's art in development and art in helping young women learn the game of soccer so they can learn how to handle life. Like, it's kind of all been about art for me.
Yeah, I love that.
So that'd be wow. That would be a moment.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. I love that. And I literally, and in just in the short time of this amazing conversation, just seeing how you pour yourself into the work that you do, whether it was the girls on the soccer field or the folks that you get to coach now. I mean, you are all in, and that's a beautiful thing to see, and you can just feel your passion. So thank you for sharing your story and your background, and just letting us know a little bit more into the life and mindset of who you are and what you do. It's fantastic. And with that, I always love to close the show call it the Leadership Lowdown. So what's that tip, that little nugget? What's one piece of advice or a word of wisdom, whether it's personally, professionally, that you would love to leave our listeners and viewers with?
Ooh, okay. I'll give you something really crunchy.
Okay.
Because we've been sort of abstract.
Yeah.
There are 4 things on your calendar that every leader needs to have. The first, and I think the most important, is self-care. It's got to be on your calendar.
Yep.
It's got to be in a different color, and it's got to be blocked.
Yep.
Can't be optional. The second is your key people. Everybody, either in group setting or in one-on-one, that is key to your business, needs to have a meeting on your calendar every week. So if you have a team of 8, you don't need to meet with all 8 of them, but maybe you meet with your manager and your number 2 and your graphic person.
Yep.
The third is networking. Really, really important that you are spreading the word about your business and your vision.
Yep.
I think that's incredibly important. The challenge that most people have with networking is that they see networking as transactional, and networking could be playing golf.
Yeah.
Right? Networking could be how do you... Can I go to a bar and sit and work on my business and just journal and have a conversation? There are so many ways to network that are much more aligned with your values.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, you need thinking time, deliberate thinking time.
Yeah.
Those 4 things should be the first 4 big, there's a YouTube video of mason jar, ping pong balls first.
Yep.
Those are your ping pong balls on your calendar.
Yep.
If you organize around those first and then everything falls after, you're probably going to get in trouble because you're going to need to make cuts, right? You're going to need to cut meetings or obligations, or you're going to need to delegate and structure your life different.
Sure.
But if you get those 4 in your calendar and lean into it might take a couple weeks to sink in. Your business will change very fast because you go from being the operational manager to the visionary leader. Yeah.
I love that. What a great thing to leave us with. Well, thank you so much, Aaron. Appreciate you being here and sharing more about the business and your background, and best of luck in all of your ventures. And again, this is only 3 years into Arizona, so we're excited to see what else comes.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching and listening today. Again, Jodi Low from the Leadership Lowdown. Remember to stay curious, because leaders are learners, and keep leading with love.